Certainly what is heating up are the conversations that are happening at the way. We've got, the conference having kicked off today, and these morning sessions already proving to be very interesting. A lot of focus on becoming resilient and dynamic moving forward, and that globally. And we're specifically taking a look at how that conversation pertains to Africa. I mean, of course, since 2000, we've had the Rockefeller Foundation having funded 2,000 grants to the benefit of the African continent and amounting to just under $500 million. It remains committed to achieving high impact in Africa, and that through working to build resilience to the impacts of climate change and transforming the health, the agricultural and the educational systems on the continent itself. Joining me right now is the Rockefeller Foundation's president, Dr. Judith Rodin. Judith, thanks so much for joining us on a very freezing day.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be with you.
Absolutely. Well, 6 of the world's fastest growing economies have emerged from Africa over the past 10 years. And we've heard time and time again that Africa's remained resilient through the global economic crisis. Sustainability, though, is brought to questions where you've got issues around poverty and so economic stability coming to bear. How much of a risk or threat does that pose to the sustained trend moving forward?
I think it poses a significant risk. Resilience is about the ability to rebound more quickly and more effectively. And so when we talk about an economy being more resilient, or a nation or a person, that's what we mean. And for Africa, part of the ability to be resilient essentially occurred because there wasn't as much interconnection to the global supply chain. As Africa grows and becomes more interconnected, it's going to have to develop other mechanisms to build resilience, including more equitable growth affecting issues of poverty and climate change. Remember when Bangkok went down because of the floods, the entire global supply chain was affected, and that will happen increasingly to African countries as well.
So let's take a look then at the role the Rockefeller Foundation is going to be playing moving forward. As I've said, you've made capital commitments to social endeavors on the continent. What kind of pipeline are we looking at moving forward, and have specific targets been set, timeframes of actually getting capital to work?
Yes, well, we want capital to get to work, not only philanthropic capital or development capital, as crucial as they are, but really mechanisms to bring private markets in. And so whether that's for climate change, where you're really building insurance products that help people rebound more effectively, as we're doing in many countries in Africa from floods and droughts, so that food security and agricultural productivity are not as affected, or whether you're trying to develop, as we are in many countries in Africa, more access to health care and health coverage for all of the population, so that illness and disease doesn't impact the opportunity for more equitable and more robust growth. All of these are interconnected in a system. And so as we intervene, we're always focusing on those things which will build resilience and drive growth together.
How do you expand and increase the effectiveness of investments that solve social and environmental issues, for that matter?
Well, we're seeing a number of investors that really do want an impact investment, a double bottom line investment, where they can do social good and at the same time have financial return. We're seeing corporations who think that corporate social responsibility is sort of the language of the past, and that in the future what they're going to be looking for are products in their main lines that really do have both social and environmental and economic gains blended together. And we think that that's a process that is important, and we've been working deeply at Rockefeller to encourage that line of thinking and actually to pilot several of those projects.
Judith, a pleasure chatting to you this afternoon. Thanks so much for having joined us here. Of course, Lindsay, coming to you live from Davos 2013, where the World Economic Forum has kicked off.